Hey everybody, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and today I want to show you how to play Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee. This is a absolute classic. For me, this and Jingle Bell Rock are they're so similar. It's worth learning both together, I feel, because they really complement each other. This one's 5% trickier, I feel. Let's just take a quick look at what we're going to be learning. Rockin' around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple wants to stop. Rockin' around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Rockin' around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way. So it's all basic chords except for there's a B minor chord in there, and I do have a kind of trick, a simpler way to play it that sounds pretty good. It's not a totally out of left field chord. It sounds pretty close, and I'll show you that when we get to that point. Really quick though, before we get started, if you haven't grabbed your copy of my free ebook, I'll put a link to that in the corner. It's free for all my subscribers. If you could take a moment to subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, that's a really huge way to help me out here on YouTube, delivering lessons to you. Anyways, we're gonna get started with, the song starts with an intro. I'll just write out the chords there. This is the classic chord progression, Stand By Me. A million songs use it. G, E minor, C, D. It's kind of optional. I recommend, learning that, because obviously you're gonna be able to play literally hundreds of thousands of popular songs like Country Roads and a bunch using that progression. And then we have an A minor and a D7 in the verse. That's the only thing that you might not be familiar with is D7. And coming from A minor, we have our A minor shape. We're gonna leave our index down and we can make our D7 chord like that just by putting our middle finger. You basically just take your A minor, lift those two fingers. Middle goes down on the second fret of the G string. Ring goes down on the second fret of the thinnest string. And you just pivot back and forth between those chord shapes a few times. So you can see I have the chords written out here for the intro and the verse. If you're not 100% comfortable with them yet, I recommend just doing downstrokes only. We would be doing 4 downstrokes per chord shape, except where indicated. Like for A minor and D7, it's just 2 downstrokes each. And we just count out loud going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You could sing rockin' around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple wants to stop. And I recommend first counting out loud till you're really good at it, and then singing at this point before we add the strumming pattern. It's going to be a little bit simpler to sing when you're just doing a straight up downstrokes for the pattern, and it's a really good way to start warming up into playing and singing at the same time, which I know is a huge thing for a lot of people. It's not something that comes naturally. Anyways, those are the chord shapes. Now when it comes to the strumming pattern, we're going to use the most common strumming pattern ever. Down, down, up, up, down, up. And that's the most common strumming pattern ever. I've covered it in a ton of lessons, but really quickly, if you need help with it, we divide it into 2 parts. First, going down, down, up on beats 1 and 2. So down on beat 1, down, up on beat 2. Down, down, up, 3, 4. Down, down, up, 3, 4. And counting 3, 4 out loud. I know, kind of boring doing this kind of repetitive practice, but that's what makes you really solid at this, and it makes it second nature, and that's our goal, right? Now the second half of this pattern, I would count 1, 2, and then go miss, up, down, up. 1, 2, miss, up, down, up. And you do that a whole bunch, then you can put it together. Down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. And there's one more element that we have to add to this, and that is the swing feel, where we make the downstrokes feel longer. So instead of doing the straight feel, we do where the downstrokes are a bit longer. It kind of feels like the blues or country. You know, if you did this song with a straight feel, it's like rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. It just doesn't have the right feeling. Instead of like rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. You know, so that swing feel is really important with this song. I have a lesson that covers how to get it. If you're not feeling it, some people can feel it naturally. Some people have to learn it. I feel like it's almost 50-50, right? So whichever one of those people you are, I got you covered. Now we have the chords, we have the strumming pattern. Before we put them together, there's one little thing left to cover. Remember when we were doing the chord shapes, we only did A minor for 2 downstrokes and D7 for 2 downstrokes. So we can't fit our whole strumming pattern onto each of those chords. They kind of have to share it a little bit. What I recommend doing is the first half of the pattern on A minor, so just down, down, up, and then the first half of the pattern on D7. So just going down, down, up on each chord, basically. Back and forth, down, down, up, down, down, up. We do it like, I think 3 times? Yeah. You know, so just a little heads up. Now I'm gonna put that together. I'm gonna play through the verse with the strumming pattern. You can always just watch this, see how it goes, and then try it with me. You know, rewind the tape, try it with me afterwards. Let's give it a shot. I'm gonna get out my metronome here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, intro. Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see. Every couple wants to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. So that is the intro and the verse. The only part we have left is the chorus, and this part starts off on a C chord and goes to B minor, which is a bar chord, and that's a bit tricky for some people. So instead of playing it that way, by the way, if you are interested in bar chords, you make the A minor shape with saving your index. So you put your middle down on the 1st fret of the B string, your pinky on the 2nd fret of G, and then your ring finger. You're making an A minor shape without your index. You go up 2 frets, then you lay down your index on the 2nd fret. That gives you the B minor shape. Bar chords are a whole adventure. I have a course, Bar Chords Made Easy, if you are interested in getting into that. It's actually, I make them easy. Believe it or not, the title's pretty accurate. Anyways, I don't want to get too sidetracked. Instead of playing the B minor chord that way, we can play it like this. And if you know the B7 chord, like if you ever learned Walk the Line or something like that, you know, B7 is everywhere in like Johnny Cash and country kind of stuff. We're just doing that without our index finger. So I'm putting my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. I'm leaving the D string open, ring finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, leaving the B string open, and then my pinky finger on the 2nd fret of the thinnest string. So it's like 2, skip, 2, skip, 2. And you curl your fingers so you can get some nice open strings ringing. And that's a pretty good substitute. And the other new chord shape here is there's an A7 chord. And that's right after E minor. So we have our E minor shape. We just move the shape down 1 string, and then we move our ring finger down 1 more string. So starting on the A string, O, 2, O, 2, O. And for that chord, we're doing a stop. We're just going. So we strum it, and then we stop the strings by lightly touching them with our palm. We strum it on beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum on beat 1, and then you count 2, 3, 4. At first out loud, once you're comfortable, count it in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other than that, we're just going to do our strumming pattern one time per chord shape. And I'm going to put this together now. You can always just watch it, see how it goes, and try it with me after. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with boughs of holly, rocking around. Now we've learned pretty much the whole song, just the very ending is a tiny bit different. For the final line, everybody dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way. You know how they like on the recording, in the new old-fashioned way, and it's like a big deal. Let's figure out how to play the chords during that part. So we go back and forth between A minor and D7 2 times, and then we're going to stay on the D7 chord, do our strumming pattern twice. Old-fashioned way. And then we go G, E minor, C, and G. That's our outro. Outroduction. It's not a real word, is it? Similar to our intro, but G, E minor, C, G. A little bit simpler. That's it. That's the whole song. If you want to play along with me through the entire recording, I have that available on my Patreon page. I'll put a link for that. And if you need help with any of the mechanics, the chord shapes, the strumming, any of that stuff, developing your rhythm, feeling that swing, you should check out my free ebook. I also have my course, Learn Guitar Once and For All, which goes over everything from absolute beginner to confident strummer. You know, I designed it for people, especially those who are maybe starting later in life. You know, it takes all that into account. No stone is left unturned. You know, you can find more information on that in the corner. Otherwise, have a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you soon. Have fun practicing.